Hello, this is Michael with MVLConcrete. I wanted to show you some pictures of a recent job we just completed. It was a rooftop, as you can see in this picture here. It was a built-up tar roof with gravel. We wanted to remove the tar and the gravel and apply a cementitious waterproofing cement so that the owner can over time start to build planters and have a rooftop garden. So this was the beginning pictures. There is a lot of movement that we had to do, or things to remove. The skylights, you can see those are the openings. So that was this next picture. This is kind of just a picture of how we went up and down. Just another angle of the rooftop. All the rocks were there. We had to scrape those off. Again, this was built up tar roofing. There wasn't a lot of information on how to remove it, so we had to we played around with different ways by scraping and doing other tests on how to get the built up tar off. Most people just re-tar the roof. This is a picture of us scraping or shoveling all the rocks into piles, and then we just shoveled them off the roof into a trailer where we were able to reuse the rocks at a local house that needed a pebble driveway. This next photo here this is where we're actually starting to remove the tar and the rocks. We were able to find the best way to remove it by using a big machine that milled it. It was a bit messy, but it got it off. We then, after milling it, it was just pulverized, and we just shoveled it into a dumpster where it was hauled off. The bottom was the drip edge that was all around the parapet wall. We had to use a pick to pry those off so we could install a cant strip, a polyurethane cant strip on that bottom 90 degree where the parapet wall met the top of the roof. So we had a lot of prep work. That was the most important part of this job, was getting it prepped, because the concrete would not stick to the tar. Here's another just photo. This is after milling it. There was still some areas that we had to go around and use a hand grinder with some special blades to remove the excess tar in some areas that were usually the high spots. The concrete was extremely wavy when they poured it, mainly because it was just being covered up with tar and they didn't really spend too much time flattening it, so there was a lot of high spots. And that was, again, it's pretty critical to prep it properly so the membrane C waterproofing cement would bond to the concrete. This next photo is just a photo of the rooftop. We've got it all cleaned up. This is, you can see there's some puddles. That was mainly because we were testing areas to see where it ponded the most, so we could apply extra membrane C, and then we also were pressure washing it numerous times. Just the amount of debris that was up there was had to come off, all loose dust, and that could provincially be a bond breaker to the membrane C waterproofing cement that had to get removed. This A-frame here, that's just how we, you can see the steel A-frame. This is how we were able to get the material up to the roof. In this next photo here, you'll see just a I took a picture of through the skylight. This is where we were hoisting it. It's coming up here. This is the picture of, this is the skylight opening. We just placed all the buckets and the bags of membrane C into a big sandbag and then hoisted it up, and then we were ready to apply the material. It was then the this next picture here, this is the beginning process of applying the membrane C. We first had to do the corners. Again, we removed the metal flashing that was along the parapet wall and then the roof where it joined, and then we applied a cant strip bead of caulk, so there wasn't a 90-degree angle. It was more of a 45 curved angle instead of a straight 90-degree angle. This will prevent the membrane C from cracking. We also applied fiber tape on the corners and joints where there's potential cracking. This picture you could see, this is where the fiber tape, we would first apply the membrane C by a roller, then we would embed the fiber tape, and then we would reapply the membrane C on top to embed the fiber tape into the coating. Again, you could see the corner is not a straight 90 degree, it's more of a radius curve that will be less likely to crack, which will cause water issues. Okay, now we're starting to apply the membrane C to the whole roof. The orangish reddish stuff is primer. I decided to use a colored primer mainly because we could see pinholes in areas that weren't getting covered enough. This made it a lot easier to see that. Then we just roller applied the membrane C. It took quite a bit of time, mainly because the roof was fairly rough. We had to really work it in. This is a photo of the completed membrane C. There's still a lot of stuff on it, mainly just we were touching up, and this is. But we used white membrane C. It was very bright up there. It was kind of hard to look because it was so bright up there. So we decided to go ahead and apply a top coat of the Miracote MPC, and this we colored with a sand color. This kind of just was to dim down the whitish and the brightness. It made it a little bit easier on your eyes because this was going to be the usable space up on top. Here's the photo after we applied the MPC Miracote with the sand color. We went ahead and applied this using a hopper gun with pneumatic air compressor. This was again just to serve as mainly two functions, was the color and then also just an extra layer of waterproofing because it is also a waterproofing cement, and then it provided a protective coating on top of the membrane C. This wasn't really needed. The membrane C is a finished surface, but we just wanted to be sure that we got little pinholes and got a full coverage. Since we did apply the membrane C at the recommended 1 coat, I usually would like to apply it at 2 coats, but we weren't really able to pull it real thin to apply 2 coats, so I went ahead and topped it with MPC. And this photo is just another angle of the finished roof, but I have some videos that I'll post in the description, just some videos of us hoppering the material on, and then some other video clips of prepping the concrete. So I hope these pictures were interesting, and if you have any questions or comments, you could email me. I'll post my email in the description as well. But thank you for watching, and have a good day.